So I'll hand you over straight away to Andrew Newman, our candidate for Claines. Thank you very much.
I prepared a load of notes for this evening, and half an hour ago I was having a drink and I thought, well, maybe refer to them, but there are one or two things that sort of immediately come to mind. Number one, there are no sausage rolls on sale here, and we're so hard up, if you want a drink you have to buy your own. And I hope there's a member of the press here to report just that. Number two, I've spent this last week going around Claines, where I'm standing, listening to people. And what has impressed me is how many people want to talk. And what is blindingly obvious, regardless of which parties they may have voted for in the past, which parties they may have intended or considered voting for now, they all feel abandoned by politicians. And those are politicians nationally and locally. And the typical expression is, we have no voice. And I'm asked, we're undecided, and there are a lot of people undecided, how do I vote? The answer that seems to ring most bells is, if you vote for what you don't want, you'll get what you don't want. And if you vote for somebody in the hope that it will prevent somebody else getting in, pound a pinch of salt, you'll make the wrong vote. So make a choice for whom you want, and I mean whom you want, and which party therefore, and vote for them. And at least you've got a chance of getting what you want. Now my view is that each of the people I've said that to has reacted on the basis, well, at least that's rational. I can understand it. It may not solve my emotional perturbation. I'm one of those who felt just like that, a widow who all her life had supported her husband, who is a member of the Conservative Party in Worcester, and has distributed leaflets for him, and a widow, I think, a year, 2 years ago. And she said, I really do want to vote for you. So it became plain, well, go on, do it. Go on, do it. No, it would be betrayal to my husband. But boy, do I wish you would. Now there's a lot of that going on. There really is. And it did prompt me to write a few notes. Yes. And in essence, they concern why UKIP, why UKIP matters, why UKIP matters at both local and national level, and why voting UKIP right now matters. And despite all my notes, the answer seemed to me to be terribly simple. Why UKIP? Because we care about the United Kingdom. I don't believe that the Scottish nationalists will be doing anything like as well as they are if we had, for the last 20 years, had national governments which demonstrated some interest in the United Kingdom. Yeah. My view is that they are making a point, which is we need identity. We all need identity. And there was a very, very proper British identity. I don't know how many of you have the misfortune of being as old as I am, but I was brought up in a household where I was told, you are British. Within Britain, you happen to be English, and you will respect the Scottish, the Welsh, and the Irish. But boy, you are British. That has become a bad thing to claim. Oh no, we're European. Europe is so vast, there is no identity. Simple as that. Not only is there no identity, there is no culture that binds them all together. You can't even say that Christianity binds them all together. And if you go back to Magna Carta, which is a fundamental part of this country and a third of the world's population, a third of the world's population has derived its culture from Magna Carta, including the United States Bill of Rights, which quotes Magna Carta. If that matters to you, how the hell can you just say, oh, let's give way to everything European? Let us give the European Commission permission to tell us what to do. And I know Paul in a few minutes will be confirming that the European Commission decides what will be thrown through in the way of law, regardless of whether it is legal that they should do so, and I'll pick that up in just a moment. And the European Parliament is expected to rubber stamp what goes on. And I'm not for one moment suggesting Paul and other MPs are sitting there wasting their time. What I am suggesting is that we are making ourselves subject to a bunch of bureaucrats, and the civil servants really do have a big hand in this lot, and unelected people earning fortunes for whom their work in that role is a career. They are no more servants than fly to the ruddy moon. And they have not got the first understanding of what Magna Carta and habeas corpus are all about. And there is a fundamental difference between our law, our respect of the individual, of all people in this country, including the Crown, and the state, being subject to our law. And our law is not a prescriptive law, unlike that of almost every European country, where you're allowed to do what we say you're allowed to do. It's that you, as an individual, have a right to your freedom, unless told otherwise by a court of law or the country. How anybody can claim that is worth throwing away, I do not know. That is why UKIP matters. UKIP is alone in this country, of all parties in this country, in saying that matters above all else. That does not make us a single issue party. What it does make us is a party that is concerned to address the root cause of the problems that we have. And that is why UKIP matters. We're interested in what our fellow citizens in Britain think and want. Sufficiently interested to wish to pay attention to the consequences of 20 years of irresponsible governance. I say irresponsible because they have passed through this, passed through that, passed through the other, and said this is all in our economic interest, without a single thought for the social consequences. And those social consequences are what we at a local level have to pick up. And they have created a vast imbalance between demand and supply. The demand for schools, the demand for healthcare, the demand for doctors' surgeries, for social care, for housing, way exceeds anything that's been provided. The excuse of government is, well, we can't plan. Why can't you plan? Because we cannot manage the population in this country. Why can you not manage the population in this country? You could keep out every member of the Commonwealth who served this country very well for the whole of the 20th century. Because of the EU. Thank you. So we must sacrifice our infrastructure as well because of the EU. Terribly sorry, yes. Now, why does it matter both nationally and locally? For just those reasons that I've given you. UKIP is willing to stand up, speak, be heard, and justify and defend its position, and then carry out what it says needs to be carried out. We need the chance to do that at a national level. Influencing government is every bit as important as being government. And there are enough members of the Labour Party and the Conservative Party who want the lead in the pencil that UKIP can bring for us to be seriously important in the next government. Prime among those in my book is a guy called Daniel Hannan, who has been explicit. Friends in UKIP, we should be marching alongside you in our seeking to be rid the dared mortal coil, I've got the words wrong, of the EU. But that's what he's saying, and he ain't alone. So that's why we matter nationally. Why do we matter locally? Because one of the things we want to do is to blow apart cabinet government in local authorities. What good will that do? That will stop cosy little deals behind the door. That will stop local authorities, the councillors, enjoying the battles and arguments between themselves more than addressing the issues that everybody's trying to live with from these people who say they have no voice. Why now? Golden opportunity. Probably the first time that the electorate of this country has sufficient confidence to consider taking the challenge of voting for what they really want. No longer are they going to be branded racists, irrational outsiders maybe from the planet Mars. They are regarded as being people who've thought and are giving serious attention to what needs doing. They are now in a position to vote. We've got 4 weeks to get them voting. That's our job, to help them vote for what's needed. Perfect opportunity. Thank you all.